All right, Josh. We are just two Dolphins games into the 2025 regular season.
Ugh.
And I swear we're already starting to seriously question why we started this podcast in the first place.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 305 Gridiron, a Miami Dolphins podcast for reasons unknown at this stage in life. But we are Miami Dolphins fans, so, we're kind of used to this sort of thing
Yes.
at this point.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yep.
Another week gone by, another loss for the Miami Dolphins in tragic fashion. Wasn't like we had no chances to win this one. In fact, we had two right at the end of the game, and we couldn't really commit on either of them. Listen, the team looked more alive than it did last week, that's for sure. Much better game this week than we had against the Colts, but it was still just packed with coaching miscommunications, on the field miscues, even player miscommunications. At one point, D. Eskridge cuts off Malik Washington for a kick return, not a touchdown, for a kick return. Like, what are we doing out there? This team looks like a little league team being coached by somebody who's never coached football before, and I'm getting a little tired of it. It is the highest level of football at this point, right?
I mean, I don't know, man. You look at the product on the field. I don't know if we can honestly say that. I think this team. It's about time for a little bit more of just some player team meetings and some coaches standing up and saying, look, we're getting better incrementally. We understand what we did wrong, blah, blah, blah. Like, enough's enough. I'm tired of, as a fan, right? I'm tired of the same excuses. I am a eternal optimist, as you well know, specifically about this team. I mean, in general, but specifically about this team. And, I'm finding it real hard to find any sort of light or sliver of hope because I just don't know if there is any. And, for someone in myself who is very, pro player and will figure it out. And, this is just a sport. People have bad days. And you know what? Let's give the coach. I'm ready to clean house. I'm ready to endure another 2 or 3 season rebuild just so that we can turn the page on this experiment.
Yeah, I mean the product on the field isn't
Mm-hmm.
isn't up to par. I mean, sure, we've started 0-2 in the past, and we've looked at the team, and we're like, the team looked good still. It was just hard-fought games or a hard schedule or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
These are two teams we should have beat.
Yeah.
Right? If we're being honest here, if we're looking at the roster on paper, and if they are who we think they are, which obviously they're not.
Uh-huh. Romeo
Dennis Green throwback there.
Or Dennis Green, yeah.
Rest in peace, buddy.
Yep.
Listen, if they were who we were excited to see, and as good of players as we thought they were,
Mm-hmm.
then we wouldn't be 0-2. And
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of coaching miscues, and I
Mm-hmm.
know there's a lot of game management issues, and we're going to talk tons and tons about that in this episode.
Yes, we are.
But the players on the field are not doing any better than the coaches.
And what's really frustrating about the whole thing for me is that it's really like we've seen them do this. Like we've seen them be top of the league type successful.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I have never seen that I can remember. I'm sure it's happened in my life. I just cannot. I've sat here and thought about it for a day and a half now. I cannot think of a team that has fallen off the cliff like this. I mean, in 2023, we led the league in damn near every major statistical category from an offensive standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
We were juggernauts. If we lost a game, it was shocking. I mean, I think we won our first 7 games or out of 8 or something like that, something crazy like that.
Yeah.
And last year, okay, injuries, tons of injuries, 1,700 concussions. Tyreek Hill injured with 37 babies on the way. Jalen Waddle in and out of the lineup, whole new offensive line, what felt like 17 different starting quarterbacks. So you could see I gave them grace. right? Okay, look, that is a lot for any team to manage and to overcome. Okay, cool. Let's see what we look like with a full off season. Everyone's healthy for the most part. And I'll tell you what, it's just turd after turd after turd. And, at what point do we say, we being the royal we, the Miami Dolphins, at what point do the Miami Dolphins say, you know what, enough's enough? This is no longer it's early in the season. We're figuring things out. It's, you guys aren't good enough. We need you to go and make room so we can get new players in here and take another swipe at the lottery ticket and see if we hit on another quarterback, on another head coach, on another GM, and see where we go from there.
And I think a lot of that too in the 2023 season is us just being so excited to have a good team, which we thought was a great team.
Yeah.
But if you remember, the crack started to show at the end of that season, right? We start 9-3. We're red hot, right? But looking back, the 3 teams we lost to were all playoff teams that would be vying for a Super Bowl shortly after. Buffalo, Philadelphia, Kansas City, right? Only one of those games was close. That was the Kansas City game. We lost 21-14. Both Philly and Buffalo handled us, right?
Yeah.
So we're 9-3, and we have. I think at this point we needed to win one more, maybe 2 more games to lock down the division because Buffalo was having a bit of a rough year. We go 2-3 in the final 5
with a horrible loss to Tennessee.
Blowout loss to Baltimore, 56-19.
And
then we lose to Buffalo 21-14 in the final week of the season to lose the division to the Bills.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's hard because, you can see Mike McDaniel and his ability to do things correct. We've seen it. But he is just doubling down on poor decisions, on over-engineered play calling, on over-engineered scheme design, on over-engineered everything. His plays seem so long he can't even get the play. How do you not get a play in?
Yeah.
How do you have to burn a timeout with the game on the line in the 4th quarter because you can't get a play? Like, I'm sorry, that is unacceptable, and it's happened far too many times. Look, for those of you that are new to the show, if you're watching now live or you're watching later, we are not always drab and we are not always jaded and we are not always, very holding people accountable and very kind of aggressive with our feelings here. But if you're a Dolphins fan and you've been a Dolphins fan for a while, you know that we as Dolphins fans have been dealing with mediocrity for far too long. And, so please understand, if you come back and watch us later, even if it's not a win, we tend to be light and we tend to be very honest, but keep it fresh. This show is going to be the complete opposite of that. We are going to be, or at least I'm going to be, very blunt, very honest with my feelings about this team and where we're at already in 2 games into the season. So just a little PSA to those of you that are new to watching us.
Also, I did a bad job of introducing that the first 10 minutes of a reaction show is our just raw emotion. And then we'll get into our filtered emotions and our we've had a day to think about it. Let's talk, let's real talk for a second, right?
Yeah.
But the first 10 minutes, it's raw emotions. And I have something to say about the end of this game. We had 2 opportunities to win this game, right? Okay, if the offense stinks, but it wasn't the case that the offense stunk. It was the case that the play took too long to get in, and we had to delay a game on the first one. Yeah. It was the case that we overthrow a wide-open Tyreek Hill in the middle of the field. It was the case that we then take a sack followed by an interception on the very next play. Tua, what are you doing? That's 4 plays on. You could say it's 4 plays on Tua.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Tua. I mean, look, don't get us wrong. There were slivers of good Dolphins play when there was in the end of the second quarter, beginning of the third, where there was tempo. We were getting to the line of scrimmage. We were calling plays downfield. We were not doing those stupid ass screen plays that Mike McDaniel loves to revert back to. And Tua looked good.
Which we had plenty of, by the way.
Jesus, I know. I stopped counting after 10 in the third quarter. So, I don't know, man. This is one of those things where, I don't know, as a Tua guy, I don't know if I can defend him anymore to be the starting quarterback of this team. look, I'm not hoping he's out of the league. I'm not hoping he's doesn't find success somewhere. I just don't know if it's going to be here. Honestly, I think they're too far gone.
And that was just one of 2 drives, by the way, because miraculously, it's 30-27 at that point. Miraculously, the defense holds the Patriots, which is not something they did often in this game, to a field goal. It's now 33-27. In the second drive that we had, that could have potentially been a game-winning drive, this is probably the only thing he did wrong the entire game. Devon Achane steps out of bounds on the game-winning touchdown for absolutely no reason whatsoever. There wasn't anybody to really juke. He was very clearly had the space to just cut back, and he steps out of bounds for no reason. Now, I am not here to bash Devon Achane. It was his only mistake, and literally he's been the only good player on this team through 2 weeks.
Yep.
But that's a game winner that gets taken back, right? Right? Yep. And then the next play, false start. Oh, and the next play, Tua throws a 3-yard pass with no timeouts, by the way. Why? Yeah. Why even throw it? Just throw it out of bounds. What is that? And then he takes a sack to end the game. 2 drives. 2 drives. Plenty of time, by the way. The first drive was there was 3 minutes left in the game. The second drive, there was a little under 2 minutes left in the game. Plenty of time.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, and I don't know what was worse for the end sequence of this game. And by end sequence, I mean the last 2 minutes of this game, right?
Yeah.
If it was the play calling and the lack of being able to get the plays in on time so that we have a delay of game, so that we have to burn a timeout and so on and so on, or if it was Tua and his decision making and his play and the offensive line and so on and so on and so on and so on. But it was all bad, man. I mean, when they say this is a game of inches, that Achane game-winning touchdown that was called back, it was an inch. It was a genuine game of inch.
And Abel, thanks for joining us. And then we get this terrific quote from our wondrous leader, the head of our football team, comes at us in the post-game press conference with this wondiferous quote here.
Oh, yeah.
To win games, you have to win games, not lose them.
Yeah.
Thanks for your wisdom, you freaking dipshit.
Yeah.
My goodness, dude. I mean, this guy, I've never liked listening to him talk. Not since day one. Not since day one. I feel like I am listening to somebody who has like a speech impediment or something, or mental illness. Like, he just doesn't speak well. But Jesus Christmas, the more politically correct he tries to get with his conferences, the worse it gets, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you are not Bill Belichick, all right? You can't go up there and say nothing. You do not have the gravitas to do that. You don't have the winning record, right?
Well, the irony is he does have a winning record.
But
I know what you mean. No. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. The thing with him is I kind of wish they would take his ability to do press conferences away from him, right? I mean, send up any legitimately anyone else.
And game management. And I mean, you sent something in our group chat earlier that Kyle Krabs does not really go after coaching staffs very often. I've been listening to him for a bit, and even he was like, all Mike McDaniel has done, and now this is 3 full years. This is his 4th season, is thrown shit at the wall and hoping it sticks, and shit in the form of new coaches. Oh man, this is bad. Let's throw another coach at it. Oh, this is bad. Let's throw another coach at it. Like, we have a passing game coordinator, an assistant head coach, I think, or assistant offensive coordinator, one of those things, an offensive coordinator for some reason, because McDaniel calls the plays, so I'm not sure why. And then I think there was like a running game coordinator. There's like 4 guys. What are they doing?
I don't know, man. And not to mention him doubling down on making already overly complicated play schemes more complicated. It's like, okay, well, this isn't working and we can't figure it out. So let's add another motion. Right. So it's insane to me.
The complication of the offense is absurd. But we're running out of time for our initial reactions here. So let's ask one final question on initial reactions before we move on. How long does McDaniel last here, man? Like, I don't think he gets fired this week, right? Because we got Buffalo on Thursday. That'd be a hell of a thing to do to an interim coach.
I mean, Anthony, like it. And pardon my French, but like it fucking matters, dude.
but then that's the other side of it. It doesn't matter. No. Buffalo's going to beat us 55-3, regardless of if McDaniel's the coach or not. So does it even matter? But I feel like we would have heard. It's Monday, September 15th at 7:00 at night on the East Coast. I feel like we would have heard by now if he was gone.
he's not. I don't think he's going. Now, the question of should he go? I mean, that's what we should really be talking about. I mean, you and I, unfortunately, don't make those kind of decisions. But I will say this, right? At the beginning of the season, after we lost against the Colts, I said on the show, I said, look, I'm going to give them until the end of week 4, going into week 5. And if we're, 1-3, 0-4, clean house. I think it would make more of a statement to do it after this loss than it would after a Bills loss.
Yeah.
Because, you and I are very big advocates for holding people accountable in life. But from a Dolphins standpoint, holding the coaching staff, the GM, and the players accountable. And dating back to the last quarter of last season into this season, Mike McDaniel, at every chance and every opportunity he's gotten, has shit the bed. Mm-hmm. And, I think at some point, and I never advocate for somebody losing their job because it's not fun, but at some point you need to make a statement, you being Ross. Mm-hmm. Now, I think Ross is a very good owner. He does, and I know I'm very much in the minority. He does exactly what you want an owner to do, which is shut up, build me a cool stadium, and write the checks when I tell you to write the checks. Mm-hmm. Stay out of the football crap. You are not a football guy. Like, that's what our owner does. And he's a fan.
A couple times he has got involved in the football stuff. We lost the first round pick. So
right, exactly. So please stay away. Right. I think at some point it has to start from the top down. Whether it's Grier, whether it's McDaniel, whether it's benching Tua, like, I don't know, but some form of accountability has to happen immediately, in my opinion, at least, because I think it sets the tone for nobody's safe, which nobody should feel safe. By the way, I don't care what your salary is. Nobody should feel safe. Yeah. And the product on the field is, I mean, I'm obviously over exaggerating, but it's less than college level production, right? And efficiency. I mean, I've watched Florida State defense, as a Florida State grad. Go Noles. I've watched Florida State's offense look spectacular this season. Organized. And I know it's a huge jump between. I know, I understand that, but
at least our offense looked alive in this game.
I mean, yeah, but we looked alive, and then all of a sudden we stopped doing what was working.
Yeah.
And then we called 3 screen passes in a row, and Tua got sacked, and there we go. Defense is back on the field for 37 minutes.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into that.
Yes.
In the next segment, this is a good segue into that. I think I'm finally coming to terms with giving up on the season. All right. Yeah. So what we're going to do, because we have watched, I've consumed, I know Josh has too, I have watched a lot of Dolphins podcasts today, just to get a feel for where are we? Where is the podcasting group out there in terms of, like, what are their feelings on the situation? Mm-hmm. Are they the same as us? Are they different? No surprise. Everybody's calling for Mike McDaniel's head today. So we're going to do a little something different. Ross has been a little slow to make moves in the past. Mm-hmm. Especially big decisions, big hard decisions, like getting rid of a coach in the middle of the season. I think the only one he's actually done that to was Sperano, maybe.
Rest in peace.
I'm thinking so far back. I mean, he's been here for a while, Ross.
Philbin,
maybe. Yeah. Anyway, Adam Gase should have never hired him the first. Whatever. Listen. So we've been ranting a lot. We've watched the other podcasts rant a lot. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk about the problems, but then we're going to try to come up with some solutions. Like, what if this coaching staff and this regime is not let go after this game, which I very much think they should be. There's 10 days off between this Thursday night game and our Monday nighter against the Jets. Perfect opportunity. Mm-hmm. But let's say that Ross says, nope, I'm holding on to these guys. What do we need to see to make it better? All right. Takeaway number 1, Josh, we've obviously worked on these ones together, so you already know what I'm going to say, but the audience doesn't. And we were just talking about it. Coaching and game management is the biggest single thing holding this team back. It's not really that close. And I know the defenses look crap, and I know that we've had inconsistent play on offense, but the game management has killed more drives than I can care to remember at this point, and we've only 2 weeks into the season.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So what does that mean, right? Well, players aren't getting in the game on time. We see substitutions that are leading to timeouts. Why? This is something you start doing in Little League. What is happening there? Right? We're seeing timeouts wasted because the plays aren't getting in on time.
Mm-hmm.
The screens and crunch time are so predictable that teams are not even dropping safeties, dude. They're just keeping all 11 players at the line of scrimmage. And then the adjustments to the game, what adjustments? When there are any adjustments, it's way too slow to even matter. But more often than not, 95% of the time, no adjustments are made because our coach thinks he's a boy wonder who has all the answers.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything there?
I mean, there's a ton we could talk about, but I think those are the biggest takeaways, right?
Yeah.
I think, you hit the nail on the head. I think the biggest thing is timeouts, is wasting timeouts and not getting plays in on time, right? I mean, those are fundamental, day one coaching things. Call a play, give your players enough time to say it twice and get to the line of scrimmage and snap before there's 5 seconds left. And he's getting the plays on the broadcast, and this drives me fucking nuts. On the broadcast, there's 10 seconds left on the play clock, and and Tua's like, come on, give it to me. Come on.
And then McDaniel's looking frustrated.
Yeah. Like,
you're the one giving the play late.
Yeah. You're the problem, bro.
You are the problem. I mean, this here highlights the ineptitude of the coaching staff perfectly. Year 4, game 2 of year 4 in Mike McDaniel's Dolphins versus game 2 of Vrabel's reign as the Pats head coach. And the Pats were considerably more prepared.
Yeah.
Now, they still had a lot of penalties. They got sacked a few times. They did not look perfect. But those are acceptable when a guy is only in his second game coaching the team. Not acceptable when you're on game, I don't know, what's 18 times 3 plus 2? Whatever that is. Not acceptable at that point.
We're not trying to do math live on the show, buddy.
Yeah. No. All right. So how do we fix that? How do the Dolphins fix that? We can't do anything to fix it. They don't even know we exist. But how do the Dolphins even begin to fix plays not getting in on time, timeouts being wasted, screens and predictable moments, and just no adjusting?
Well, I mean, the first couple things that come to mind is streamlining play calling, right?
Yeah.
So script earlies, right? Which is what, again, and there's a repetitive theme here. This is fundamental stuff. Right. Coming into halves and coming out of halves, you have scripted plays, 4 or 5, whatever it is. So you have options depending on what the defense does. But I think really streamlining play calling has to be a priority for whether it's for either Mike McDaniel or any other new coach that comes in. Right. And I think the next thing that really kind of the solution to one of the many problems is really take away some of the responsibilities from Mike. I think it's time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Have a dedicated game managing coach or play caller or whatever the case is. And we've said it on the show before. Mike McDaniel is a head coach, NFL football head coach, needs to be looking at the macro of the team, meaning everything at a high level, from schedules to flights to practices to joints practice to play designs, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. Let your coaches deal with the micro, which is the finite details of every single position room, of every single thing, and dedicate, and this is something I think would help at least in solutioning this, have a dedicated play caller. Someone that is not Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel can still be part of the play design, but dude, you are over engineering and you are out thinking yourself, let alone the other team. And it's at this point, it's noticeable.
You know what this reminds me of too is, and we see this is, I think, relatable to every job on the planet. In every job, there are your lowest tier workers who worry about the ins and outs of every minute detail of every little thing they have to do. A cashier worries about getting the right change back and forth between the customer and the business, right? Then eventually some of those people look to greater things and they become managers of some level, whether it's a store manager at a grocery store or you and I are in tech, it's a development manager, something like that. You're no longer in the weeds. You're no longer worrying about how much money is being exchanged between the customer and the company. Now you're worried about, is all of the people under my umbrella, are they doing the correct thing? Are they working at max capacity? Do they have the things they need to work at max capacity? We are dealing with a cashier who's been promoted but still thinks like a cashier.
Yeah.
He's still stuck in the minutia of the day to day to day, and he's not overseeing all of the things that are important for a team to run effectively. And here we are in year 4 somehow of this. Somehow he has faked it till you make it till the 4th year of being a head coach in the NFL, still not knowing how to effectively lead the organization.
Mm-hmm.
And we're 0-2 against 2 teams that we should have beat. And this is the worst the team has looked since probably before Brian Flores even took over.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, it's definitely a conversation. And I think that's the problem, right? Mike McDaniel is good at a few things. Game managing is not one of them. And he does not seem to progressively get any better. He's actually getting worse. And I think, not to beat a dead horse with a stick here, he over-engineers things as band-aids to try to solve problems. Instead of simplifying your offense and letting your star players play football, line up and go beat the man in front of you. You're adding emotion on top of emotion on top of, and when that doesn't work, then you go into halftime and then, hey, we're going to do 3 motions this time. And we're going to have the fullback look like the quarterback and swap jerseys with Tua and then wear a Patriots helmet. And then maybe it's like, bud, like
Malik Washington at running back instead of Ollie Gordon. Why?
Yeah, like what are you doing?
Why is Malik Washington running between the freaking between the tackles here?
Yeah, it's too cute, right? And I think, and for the last point, right, the kind of leads right into the last thing that I could think of that we talked about from solutioning this first takeaway here is lean on your strengths, right? What are we good at? We're Ferraris on the edge.
Yeah.
We have a quarterback that's accurate on short to intermediate passes that has proven he could be good at the deep ball, albeit, still throws it short sometimes. Lean into your motion where appropriate. Mike McDaniel, if you're watching.
Like 1 motion.
Yeah.
Not 4.
Not 5, right? Don't have your center out at wide receiver to motion back at center. Like, that's stupid.
Motion comes in handy when you have one of 2 things, Tyreek or Waddle trying to get a speed advantage on the defender.
Yeah.
But instead we're like, I don't know what we're doing. Playing patty cakes out there.
And then tempo, man. I mean,
haven't seen that.
No. And we did, but that's the thing. We saw it in this game in the second half, or the second half of the second quarter.
Yeah.
And the first half of the third quarter coming out of halftime. We saw tempo. Get to the line quick, snap your play, don't overthink it. Get to your first, second, and third reads, make a play, get to the line, don't overthink it, rinse, wash, and repeat. And what's killing me is that we do those things, and then we go from our 10-yard line with tempo all the way downfield. And then Mike McDaniel said, okay, just kidding. We're going to stop what's clearly been working, and we're going to throw 2 screens. We're going to have Tua drop back for a long developing play, which we know the right side of the offensive line are 2 backups. So he gets sacked. And then I'm going to blow a timeout because I can't get a play call in. Like, this is the kind of things in key moments that really drive me bananas. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Second week in a row that we had to rely on a Herculean effort from Achane to even get a touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the last week against the Colts, our only touchdown was a little blip pass to Achane, which he just monstered his way into the end zone. And then again in this one, the drive you're talking about at the end of the half, again, it's a little blip throw over the middle to Achane, and he just monster trucks his way into the end zone. Like,
spectacular.
I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, and PT here with a great question. I mean, honestly, a genuine question. What does one say to the special teams unit that returns a punt and then allows a kickoff return on the next play? Sit down. I don't know.
Shit honestly happens. I don't say too much about it because our special teams is one of the only half decent units so far.
It's the best unit on the team.
The first punt return since for a touchdown since 2015.
Since
I think
Jakeem Grant.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a little later than 2015, but yeah, I mean, Malik had a big penalty, but listen, there's so many problems on this team. But yeah, so takeaway number 1, let's wrap that up with a bow because we're gonna it's too easy to get off topic in these reaction shows.
It really is. It's tough.
Yeah, so takeaway number 1 was that coaching and game management are holding us back. And ways to improve that are to simplify shit the first thing. Things are way too complicated. Somehow convincing Mike McDaniel to find a dedicated person to handle play calling.
That's not him, please.
Again, the dude's got some hubris. I don't think that's going to happen. And
Mhm.
then the last one is to lean on your strengths. We're doing way too much motion. Motion is a huge part of our offense. We're not saying to stop motion altogether, but there's no need to have 3 guys motioning per play. That's
No.
absurd. And there's no need to have guys who are not used to motion. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need that. Stop it already. Tempo has been great when we use it, but we never do. 2-minute drill is the only time we use it. And then, playing your running backs who are actually running backs. Malik Washington had 3 carries to Ollie Gordon's 1.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
But 48 receptions, right?
It's crazy. Ollie Gordon looks great. It's like 8 yards per carry or something right now.
And we're going to only do it once. Like, that's wonderful. Mike McDaniel. Good job, buddy.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to takeaway number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Inconsistent defense, man.
Yes.
The defense, at certain points this season, you and I thought that if and when Mike McDaniel got fired, Anthony Weaver should take over as head coach. Mm-hmm. This defense has come out so poorly. Yeah. I think that the majority of Dolphins fans have now soured on that idea.
Yeah, it's tough, right? And this is where I have a little bit of fandom showing, and I'm sorry that it's out in public right now on the show. But with the cornerback situation, it's hard for anyone to be successful, right? I mean, these quarterbacks can't cover a cold. I mean, they can't do anything, right? They can't play zone. They can't play man. They can't tackle. They can't get their hands on balls. They get holding penalties. They get DPIs. It's just a group of subpar athletes. From an NFL perspective, they are much better athletes than I will ever be. And it's hard to put that all on Weaver, right? I mean, you have some rotten fruit. It's hard to make a good salad, right? You know what I mean?
The problem is, though, is the strengths of the defense aren't performing either, right? The pass rushers aren't performing. The linebackers look slow and out of place. The safeties outside of Minka look about as bad as we were worried about. Melifonwu got beat for a touchdown again in this one. It's like they've signed all this depth, but they're not actually using it. We rarely see Ashton Davis out there. Willie Gay Jr. got in for like a couple plays, and he made a tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he made 2 plays back to back.
Yeah. Is it Kenny Britt? What's the other linebacker's name?
Kenny Britt.
Kenny Britt. Where the heck is he?
Is it KJ
Special
Britt?
teams.
Kenny Britt? I don't know. Whatever. Britt.
But yeah, let's talk problems though. Yeah. We've allowed points on the opening drive of every game, including 12 straight drives to start the season. Unbelievable. Yeah. The tight end coverage is non-existent. Jordan Brooks, Tyrell Dodson, they don't have the speed or the know-how, I don't know, to cover the tight end. That's now Tyler Warren, Austin Hooper, and Hunter Henry have made us look a fool. Now, the first one is understandable. The next 2?
Yeah, that's insane.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Our cornerbacks are getting picked on. Jack Jones looks like a guy who was out of work until July 1st. Rasul Douglas came in. Rasul Douglas looks like our best corner.
Hey, but yeah, I was about to say,
which is insane.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say anything bad.
Nope, I didn't know.
Because he's the only one that's looked half competent out there. Not that that's great on his defense. Pass rush, I mentioned, virtually non-existent. I hate to say it because we love Jalen Phillips around here. He don't look good, man.
No,
he don't look good.
He looks like he's coming back from a major injury.
He looks slow.
That's what he looks like.
He's being put in coverage a ton for whatever reason. I don't know what would possess anybody to put him in coverage. And that leads into my last point.
Yeah.
Players are being put in weird positions, man.
Strange.
Matt Judon was in coverage at one point.
What are you doing? Yeah.
I get it. We run a 3-4 base or whatever, and our outside linebackers tend to be in coverage. Well, then don't put the pass rushers out there in those plays.
Yeah, especially not Matt Judon. I mean, look, for everything Matt Judon is, what he is in is not a coverage linebacker. I mean, that's insane. That's crazy.
I mean, why not put a 4 wide of Willie Gay Jr. and Kenny Britt with Brooks and Dodson out there? And then, I guess their argument would be like, well, then they'll know we're not blitzing. Who gives a shit? Your defense stinks anyways.
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference?
And I'll tell you what, something that's real shocking to me is the lack of production across the defensive line, right? Because
Yeah.
coming into the season, you and I both said the strength of this entire team, like not just the defense, of this entire team is the defensive front seven, specifically the defensive line between Sealer and Grant and Phillips and Biggers and who's the other bowling ball? I can't remember.
Phillips.
Nope, I already said him.
Oh, we said Jordan Phillips?
Yep, the other guy.
Sealer, Biggers.
That came
Benito
back.
Jones is out.
Yes.
So.
Oh, Benito. Okay. So that's why I didn't see him. But they are fast, strong, massive human beings, right? And they are. Where are they? I have not seen a single play behind the line of scrimmage from any of them.
Where are any of them, Abel? That's the point. Where are any of them?
Yeah.
I mean, Bradley Chubb has 2 sacks. Chop has 1. But
and
sacks aren't everything. Where's the pressures?
Yeah.
Minimal.
Yeah. Chubb, I will say, is the silver lining to this front seven. I think it's awesome to see, and we'll get to him in a little bit, but it's been really nice seeing him come back from what was a full year off major injury and get a sack in both in the first 2 games.
Yep. All right. So I've laid out the problems, my friend.
Yes.
You give me the solutions. How do we fix this crap?
I mean, we have to figure out how to adjust the tight end coverage, right? I mean, I think that's teams are coming out and calling very vanilla, in air quotes, game plans, right? It's we're gonna pretend fake block the tight end who's gonna do a 2 and over. We're gonna fake block the tight end who's gonna do a 5 and out, and we're gonna fake block a tight end who's gonna get behind and block for a screen game, and we can't do anything with it. I see it coming from sitting on my couch. How the hell does a multi-million-dollar lifetime NFL head coach not see it coming? I mean, it's mind-boggling to me. So I think adjusting the tight ends, whether it's, to your point, maybe it's big nickel packages, right? Maybe it's swapping one of the linebackers for Melifonwu down in the box or Ashton Davis in the box, right? So there's a little bit more speed and they can still, lay wood if they need to. I think the few other things I can think of, right? Script aggressive first drives, set the tone, bring the heat, stop playing scared. One thing I cannot stand, right, is it's 3rd and 8 and we've been forcing pressure down your throat and we've been disrupting, I almost said Mac Jones, Drake May all game. And then it's 3rd and long. And what do? We drop in a Tampa 2 prevent defense type thing. And and it's like, what are you doing? And then they get, it's 3rd and 7 and they get 8. It's stay with what is working.
This one sticks with me the most because in our group chat when we were all watching the game live, I said, why are we not aggressive more? The few times we were aggressive in this game, the Patriots offense can do shit. But we were aggressive so little, it didn't matter.
Yeah, and the only other thing I could think of and that I could come up with, right, is really the fact that Rasul Douglas is our best cornerback is concerning. And I think we need to rotate the cornerbacks and the safeties much more often than we are doing. We need to start. Weaver needs to, in my opinion, for whatever that's worth, needs to grab his starters by the face mask and say, look, I need you to give me 1,000% for 2 series. Right? 8 plays, 9 plays, 10 plays. Yep. And then I'm pulling you out for 2 series. So you'll have time to rest. Give it every single thing you have. Do not keep anything in the tank. And then I'm going to throw in another player. And then I'm going to tell that player to do the same thing. Because right now this half-ass, 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of crap that he's doing and that our players are doing. It's just, I don't know, man. I feel like if we rotate corners and we ask the defensive line to play more aggressive and their play calling is more aggressive, we could in fact turn this defense into what we all thought it could be.
Yeah. In the chat, let us know what defensive adjustments, personnel wise or otherwise, do you want to see? Because I personally would like to see Dotson removed for Willie Gay at this point. We thought Dotson was very good. He came in last year. He performed very well for us. But through 2 games this year, he looks old and slow. And he has really, really kind of left a lot on the field. So I'd like to see Willie Gay Jr. slide in for Dotson, and I would,
Mhm.
as Josh just mentioned, like to see the corners rotate it. Like, stop allowing the opposing team to pick on you.
Yeah. Yep.
Get the safeties, the corners. Like, Weaver needs to take a serious step back, in my opinion, and take a look at
Here we
his
go.
personnel. Yeah,
Big play, Willie Gay. Yes,
big play, Willie Gay.
100%. You know what? Let's change the tune here, buddy, and let me ask you how to solution the last one.
Oh,
How does that sound?
Shit, I'm putting on my coaching hat. Let's go.
All right, I love it. All right, so takeaway number 3, the final takeaway for the show, fellas and ladies. Self-inflicted wounds, right? Penalties, mental errors, that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So what's the problem? Delay of games, false starts, wasted timeouts, illegal contacts, hands to the face, bad play call. I mean, it's the little tiny things, right, through the course of a game that destroy you, right?
Yeah.
How do you fix it? What is your idea for solutioning this problem?
Well, I don't think I'm coming up with anything anybody hasn't heard before, because every talking head in the world has been saying that this team is soft, and this team is soft. There is just a severe lack of discipline within this entire team. It's not just offense, not just defense, not just special teams. The whole dang team has no discipline. PT knows.
Yeah, there he is.
There's no discipline on this team.
Mr.
And
Hartman.
until you start getting some discipline and until you start having some repercussions for your actions, nothing is going to change.
Yeah.
Malik Washington running forward before the ball is snapped and essentially taking away what could have been the continuation of a game-winning drive is unexcusable. It's basic, especially on a motion-heavy offense. How do you not know that, right? Patrick Paul had a few. Kendall Lamb had a few. Like, the offensive line was just riddled with penalties. And then accountability, my friend. I feel like we're going to be talking accountability every
show
week. Every week. Which I know I slid into with the discipline thing, but they go hand in hand. Yeah. You can't have accountability without discipline. You can't have discipline without accountability. Tua needs to see some discipline. He looked great in this game. Don't get me wrong. 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, a nasty pick. He should have had 2. One was luckily taken back by a penalty. Threw it right to the defender in both cases again. I don't want to see Zach Wilson out there. But you got to show there's got to be some level of discipline.
Yeah.
To make it known that nobody is above the rules. If there are ever even rules in this locker room, I have no idea. It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, I don't know. What else you got?
The last one is the communication on the field, communication on the sideline. We need better communication. I mentioned at the top of the show, D. Eskridge literally stepped in front of Malik Washington on a kick return. You should know who's getting that kick return before the kick even happens. So how is there 2 kick returners on the field arguing over who should get the ball?
Yeah.
Riddle me that. Right? He doesn't look like he's taking anything serious anymore. Consistently on the sideline joking around. Bro, you've let up 33 points 2 weeks in a row, and you haven't gone toe-to-toe with either of these teams, both of which have defenses that are beatable.
Yeah, think about this. Tua was vastly outplayed by Daniel Jones and not Mac Jones. I always want to say Mac
Drake
Jones.
May.
And Drake May. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
We're talking about a Colts team last week that let up 28 against a Bo Nix that looked awful in week 1. Right? You're talking a Patriots defense this week that lost to Geno Smith and the Las Vegas Raiders in week 1. We're not talking about game-breaking defenses here. We haven't even gotten to the elite defenses yet.
It's terrifying.
Which we face plenty.
It's terrifying.
Like, we face the Bills this Thursday, who I don't think have an elite defense anymore. But they're sure as shit better than the 2 defenses we played.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the only way to fix the self-inflicted wounds is to have a coach who understands the importance of discipline and actually acts on it. Where is the coach that benched Raheem Mostert for fumbling twice in 1 game?
Yes. That's a very good question.
Right? Where we need a coach who is going to take Jalen Phillips out of the game. I'm just using this as an example. I don't think he did anything egregious, but it's going to take Jalen Phillips out of the game if he
Mhm.
whiffs hugely on a play where he was supposed to have the coverage, right?
Yeah. Tyrell Dodson is a perfect example, right?
Tyrell Dodson is chasing his own shadow most of the game.
Like, take him out of the game and sit him down and say, you know what? You're sitting down for the next series because you took 2 piss poor angles and gave up 27 yards rushing on 2 plays. Like, no, sit down. You're out for a while.
The play where Matt Collins is wide open in the end zone, he burns Jason Marshall, and then Melifonwu, who is supposed to be giving Jason Marshall backup, is closer to the line of scrimmage than Marshall was.
Yeah.
Where on earth are you lining up, son?
It's pretty wild, man. You know?
Melifonwu needs to be benched, right?
But
Jack Jones, if we had any other corners, Jack Jones would need to be benched too.
Who do you bench
Melifonwu? I bench for Davis right now, and I see if he has anything.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, right? We haven't seen him yet, right?
We haven't seen him. He's on special teams only.
Guess it couldn't
give Elijah Campbell a shot. It can't be worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know we lost Patrick McMorris again. We cut him, whatever the hell happened there. He's on the practice squad. Whatever. Bring him up. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then on offense, is the tight end even a position that we have anymore?
Well, we have a very good one on the practice squad that we seemingly, forgot about, and Greg Dulcich. I think he's instantly the best tight end in this room and caught the most touchdowns in the preseason, had a very good year, all things considered, for his limited play time last season. Is, again, the best option we have, and he's sitting on the practice squad.
You know what that is? And Dudley brought this up in his – I watched both of Dudley's recaps because he was so enraged he had 2. That's Mike McDaniel not wanting to play guys who aren't his guys.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Chris Grier signed Dulcich, not McDaniel. McDaniel wanted Waller. McDaniel wants the project kids out there, right? He wants the guys that he brought on to be projects to grow into something they're not. Zach Wilson. Mm-hmm. A lot of Dolphins fans wanted Quinn Ewers over to Zach Wilson, the backup quarterback. Me and you weren't in that
not yet,
that thought process. Yeah. Quinn Ewers was facing 4th and 5th string guys. Let's be honest; those guys aren't even in the NFL anymore.
Yeah.
But it goes to the same point. Zach Wilson was Mike's guy. Quinn Ewers was Grier's guy, right?
Yeah. I mean, and do you really think? I mean, when are we gonna get off this Darren Waller train? Like, enough's enough, dude.
This should never happen in the first place.
No.
In what universe was trading Jonnu Smith for a retired tight end who was not even good his final season when he played a good trade-off?
I don't know, man. I really don't.
Think McDaniel's ever going to change?
No.
What makes us think next year will be different with McDaniel? Okay, if we make the playoffs, son, I will buy you a house. Okay? Because it's not going to happen. We'd be lucky to win a game at this point.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'll tell you what. I think Tigers don't change their stripes, right? I'm a firm believer in that. And I'm also a firm believer in you can't fix stupid, right? And I think
painted on.
And and I think, McDaniel has, gone. He's shown us who he is, right? Right, wrong, or indifferent. He's shown us who he is. Sorry, Is this recorded? Yes, this is.
Because he wants to hold me to the buying him a house if he makes playoffs. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. PT, I've seen your house. It's really nice, buddy. But getting back to McDaniel, right? We've seen him, right? We've seen what he is and what he isn't, and he's trying to do things in the bucket that he can't because he's trying to grow as a head coach. Well, learn what you're good at and lean into that. Right? That's a philosophy that I live with. Figure out what you're good at and put every ounce of your energy into it. If you're not good at something and you can't learn something, then stop doing it. And I don't know if we get a better McDaniels than we got in 2023. I think that was peak McDaniel, in my opinion.
I think that he's been talked up too much. He went from ball boy to running game coordinator to like this boy genius that everybody talked up, and now he believes it. Yeah. And reality check, you haven't won shit, bro. You may have a winning record in the regular season. You haven't won a playoff game. You haven't beat a team worth a damn, to be honest. Other than that Ravens team in his first season,
which was awesome. Still one of the top 5 games in my life, right?
And we had so many. Listen, I know that Brian Flores did a lot of bad shit to this team, and we don't like how he treated Tua. But the carryovers from Flores era in 2021 to 2022 were a solid offensive line and a solid defense. And in 2022, we won games we weren't supposed to win, like that Baltimore game, because we had solid offensive line and a solid defense.
Well,
which we
and
haven't had since.
teams hadn't had a chance to figure out McDaniel yet. Look,
Right.
just like we're telling, hey, you can't believe you guys make this much money. How can you not figure this out?
Yeah.
Other coaches make money too on other teams, and their job is to figure it out, and they're very good at their job.
Well, that's the thing. Gimmicks only last so long. We saw the Wildcat; it didn't even last a full season.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. At a certain point, when I watch other teams play, I see them line their players up and run very basic, in air quotes, with some flair.
Yeah.
Play calls. And throw in the gimmicky shit from time to time to throw off the defense. Mike McDaniel does it the other way around.
Against us, defense is easy. Just hit the receivers; they can't get off you. This is such a good question, by the way, by Abel. I know we went on a little bit of a rant there, but Abel's asking this question because we've had struggles against mobile quarterbacks. Do we think that because Tua cannot be mobile, and of course our defense doesn't practice against a mobile quarterback, it's affecting the defense's ability to stop? I mean, it could, but it doesn't help that our starting linebackers are pretty friggin' slow. And we have two fast linebackers behind them, by the way, which is the irony there. Big play Willie Gay there, and then Kenny Britt are two of the faster linebackers in the league. But we continue to roll Dotson and Brooks out there in every situation. I really thought I thought there would be more of a 4-man rotation at linebacker.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and I think this is a very good question, and I can see your thought process on how you got there, right? I really can. And I think to an extent, yes, right? I think, not seeing mobility in your quarterback position during practices, it's like a new thing when you see it in a way. But I do think that defending mobile quarterbacks, and this is just my opinion, right? I've been studying film for a long time, for whatever that's worth, and in my time studying film over my life, to me, it seems that defending mobile quarterbacks is more scheme than it is player talent, right? If you know you have a scrambling quarterback, there are certain defenses you can't call, right? Because they're going to wait and they're going to gash you up the middle, or whatever the case is. And I think that is more on Weaver than it is on the players, in my opinion. Now, the players have to play, and they are the ones out there running the plays that the coach is calling. I fully understand that. But no, I would lean away from this logic, Abel, where it's okay. Well, Tua is not mobile, so our defense has no clue how to guard a mobile quarterback. These guys have been playing football since they were in Pee Wee football, right? I would presume, at least the majority of them.
Yeah, and to your point, there's not a linebacker in the league that can one-on-one Lamar Jackson, right?
No, and I don't think we're talking about the best of the best, but like Mac, I always say Mac Jones. What the hell is wrong with me?
Yeah, I mean, he played for the Patriots for a while.
Drake May. There's no reason Drake May should have, what did he have, like 40-some yards this game? There's no way.
You had a great fantasy day.
Yeah.
Told you guys, if you were listening last week, you should have played some fantasy.
Yep.
Play everybody against the Dolphins right now. Why wouldn't you? Anyways, let's get on to our little more positivity here with our last segment of the show.
The best segment in sports media, buddy.
Oh, shit. It's Legends and Letdowns, boys. We are going to highlight 2 legends each, which are 2 guys each, so 4 total for you math people out there.
There you go. There's math.
Who impressed us in this game, were a big reason that we came close to actually winning this game. And then we're going to highlight 4 more, some players and some maybe not players, who were reasons we lost.
Yeah.
Let's start on a more positive note. Let's start with legends. I'm going to go first, Josh,
Let's do
if you don't mind.
Of course.
Devon Achane is a dog, bro.
Yes.
Devon Achane may be one of the best, if not, he's a top 3 running back in the league.
Oh,
and I don't feel worried at all saying that.
No.
Like, this guy gets the ball in his hands and he makes magic with it. Like, there's that whole saying, like, make lemonade or whatever. If life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I mean, this dude sold out, right? Like, he, like I mentioned earlier, 2 weeks in a row, scored a touchdown off of nothing. He was given the ball with 5 defenders to get through, and he just either faked them out or barreled over them for a touchdown.
Yeah. It was kind of incredible. He is... I think you sent me, I think it was you in our group chat. You sent me like some kind of meme or something. It was like an X-ray of a chest, and it had like pit bulls inside. There's like little images.
Wasn't me, but I saw it. Yeah, it was in our fantasy chat.
Yeah, and Devon Achane, man, he's got that dog in him. He is single-handedly the best, and I don't think it's particularly close. I think he's the best player on this team.
And if you're looking at his running stats, don't look at his receiving stats, because that's essentially where he's been tearing.
Look at his touches and look at his contributions.
8 for 92, I think, in this one through the air. Yep. 8 for 92 and a touchdown through the air, 11 for 30 on the ground. Offensive line's not giving him much room to work with on the run, but it doesn't matter because you
And
just
neither
get
is
the ball in his
McDaniel.
hands.
He's not calling any run plays.
Yeah, well, it's that too. That too. We only had 15 run plays to the Patriots 29.
Yeah.
But 10 of those were Drake May, so 19.
Criminal.
Drake May ran the ball 10 times. What is happening?
Crazy, right?
All right, you tell me, who's the legend in this one?
None other than Mr. Chop Robinson, buddy. 2 solo tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 sack, 2 QB hits. Yeah, has to get that back. Yep, absolutely.
Talk about Achane here.
Yeah, Achane's about to probably reset the market. In my
we're
opinion.
gonna let some other team reset the market though, knowing us.
Well, I hope not, but probably.
Okay.
Chop Robinson was Chop Robinson in this game, and 2 quarterback hits, 1 TFL, 1 sack, 2 solo tackles. Just a really good stat line for rotational minutes, right? I think he came up and showed up when it mattered. Even though the game kind of fell apart at various levels of throughout the game, his edge pressure and his ability to kind of turn speed to power and power to speed and just be around the quarterback really showed up in this game and really made for some tough moments for Drake May or Mac Jones, depending on what segment I'm doing, because I can't remember the name.
He didn't play the full game either. Got hurt. There was an injury scare there. He thought he may have had a season-ending injury. Good news is he does not have a season-ending injury. It probably will be available for Thursday, but I doubt they're going to play him. So good news there. But Chop, I know that Chubb is the one getting the production, but Chop looks like the best pass rusher on the field.
Yeah, Chop will, and a lot of both of Chubb's sacks. If you go watch him, Chop Robinson was on the other side.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, on the same side, and turned power to speed, got around the tackle, and made the quarterback come up in the pocket and let Chubb clean it up because playing as the rush linebacker. It was really cool. It's really cool to watch them 2 play off each other.
Yeah, especially since nobody else is doing anything. All right, my second legend is none other than Malik Washington. I think I highlighted him last week on this show too because he's really one of the few guys doing anything and one of the guys I want to see more out of. I know it's hard to get him into the lineup when you got Jalen Waddle out there looking like his rookie season, and then Tyreek Hill decided to show up in this game too, which was nice to see. Yeah. But Malik still put on. He's being asked to run between the tackles, and he still did it with success. I mean, absolutely insane. He had 3 carries in this one for 23 yards. That's with an 18 long. Unbelievable. And then he has the punt return for the touchdown, which you rarely see punt returns for touchdowns in the NFL these days.
Oh, such a good return too. He got bottled up.
Yep.
Squirted out the side and was like, see you later.
Ran into his own guy, bounced off of him, and then just took off around the other side. Absolutely incredible. Had a few nice catches in this one too. Some of them called back, so they're not on the stat sheet. But Malik is if we are building this roster for the future, I really hope Malik and Achane are 2 of the key cogs in that wheel.
Agreed, 100%. And my other legend is none other than Mr. Hill himself, right? I've crapped all over him for quite some time. Thanks, PT. Thanks for joining, buddy. I've crapped on him for some time for his off the field antics, for his end of the season stuff that he did or didn't do, for that matter. He was frustrated in this game, right? Yeah. But he put on one hell of a stat line when he got the opportunity. 6 receptions, 109 yards. Long of 47, right? Which would have been a touchdown if Tua had any sort of, arm talent on that play, which he does. I'm not.
Yeah, but that ball was egregiously underthrown.
It was horrible.
Tua put his whole body into it.
I know.
And he had room to step up. He put his whole body into it, and he still only got that ball. I mean, that's a far away, 47 yards. I mean, that's where Tyreek caught it, and he was tackled right away. That's a long throw. But,
I mean, yeah, it's a long throw for you and I.
Yeah.
I mean, every week I see quarterbacks.
We know what he is,
and we know what he isn't. But yeah, no, I think Tyreek Hill, when he's engaged and when he's on, he's electric, and we saw it today. I also will say this, where I tend to not like on the field antics from players. I really did appreciate his on field accountability for Tua when he overthrew him, which would have been probably a touchdown if Tua hit him in the numbers.
Yeah, let that boy know he messed up.
Yeah, and I think it's important, right? I think it goes both ways.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't come out and criticize Tyreek like Tua has and then do
Mhm.
that.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
And rightfully so. Like, I'm not saying that Tua was
No.
not justified in his criticism of Hill.
No, but we say it all the time, man. Tyreek's
Mhm.
open on every play. It's
He
just
is.
whether or not Tua is going to throw it.
Mhm.
You know?
Yep.
Want to get into the letdowns?
Everyone else.
Yeah,
All
I'll
right.
start it.
Have
You
a
want me to
great.
start it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Everyone else is true. There's a lot of people who could have thrown in here. We narrowed it down to 2 each. I'm going to go with Mike McDaniel. I don't think there's much more I need to say on that. We've talked about it this entire episode. Game management, awful. Play calling at times, awful. Discipline, non-existent. Accountability, non-existent. We need a head coach who's actually a head coach and not a child. Dudley Durong says it all the time, so I didn't really want to steal his thunder, but I'm going to give credit for it. McDaniel seems more concerned with how he looks than how he's coaching.
Yeah.
He's always dressed to the nines. Everything's perfect. The shoes are clean. The watch is on. The glasses are tight. The hair is up. Coaching ain't.
Nope. And when your
Coaching
players are more
God.
mature than your head coach, you have a problem. And I'll keep my first one short. Anthony Weaver is on my list of letdowns this week, and more so for the season so far. 2 games in a row, 33 points we've given up. No pressure. Our cornerbacks look like ass. I mean, it's just simply not good enough, right? They look out of sync. They look unprepared, and just constant breakdowns in coverages, right? Game 1, it was Storm Duck. This time it was Terrell Dotson, and insert any cornerback that's not named Russell Douglas. It looks like a team that is playing for the first time together, and it's not. And it's concerning.
Although a lot of the defensive backs are. Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off that because mine is Jack Jones. He lets up that touchdown to Booty, which was an incredible catch by Booty, but he should have never had the opportunity to catch it. Jones was in perfect position to get his hands in the face, and he doesn't do anything.
Turn your head around. It would have been
Turn your head. Yeah. Would have been a pick. Would have been something. He has 2 tackles on the day. That's his only stat line. I don't have any access to any of these like NFL stats or anything like that or PFF, but I can't even imagine how low that score is. Dude was getting burnt left and right all day by many different receivers too. Not just Booty. Booty only had 1 catch, which was
hell of a
incredible.
catch, though.
Yeah, which was incredible, by the way. The guy had 8
catch.
targets in week 1, only 1 target in week 2. So you know the Patriots are spreading that ball around. They didn't need to throw it to Booty because Ramondre Stevenson just tore us a new one.
Yeah. Yep. And my last one is not a single player, but a position, and it's the offensive line, specifically the right side. But Jonah graded out as the worst PFF graded player of the game. Now I didn't see it. I thought he had a okay game for a rookie. I mean, he made some mistakes, but but yeah, the right side, I fully understand. It's 2 backups. I get it, but they played like dog shit. Pardon my French. You know what? No, not pardon my French. They played like dog shit, and they got beat. Borum was a human turnstile, right? Keon Smith looked like crap.
Yeah, many penalties too.
So, that's a typical story, right? That is the normal thing for the last McDaniel years, however, 5 years, 4 years, whatever it is. And for as long as Chris Grier has been in office, if you will.
Something I want to call out on that too, because this stood out to me, and I don't typically pay attention to the offensive line that much, but there was one play where Keon Smith absolutely blows the guy blows right by Keon Smith, and Brewer is on the chip block there. Brewer sees that he's getting blown up, and he still chips him, but only chips him, and then turns around. Doesn't even look to see, is my quarterback about to get annihilated? Nope. Brewer just goes right back to finding another guy to block. It's like, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
where's the respect for the quarterback?
It's not even that. It's fundamental stuff, right? And this goes back to everything we said, so I won't get on my soapbox again, but it starts with fundamental coaching, and we are not doing it.
No. Patrick Paul looks really funny out there trying to be a lead blocker for Achane on screens. The dude's so big, he looks so uncomfortable being out there. It's kind of hilarious. I'm not saying he did a bad job. I just think it's hilarious.
Yeah, he looks like it looks clunky, but I'll tell you what, man, he's fast as shit for 6'7" or whatever the hell he is.
Yeah, he looks like the 14-year-old who had the growth spurt before everybody else.
yeah. You know the movie The Blind Side? That's what it looks like.
That's exactly it.
Michael Orr in high school.
Yeah. Crazy. All right, guys in the chat, thank you so much for joining us today. Let us know your thoughts. Who are your legends and who are your letdowns? I'm sure the letdowns list is much longer at this point in the season, but Hey, maybe we'll have a surprise win against the Bills. I don't know. But we'll see about that on Wednesday. So that's going to do it for us here on the 305 Gridiron. I'm sorry this was a bit of a downer of an episode. We will try to bring some positivity at some point this season. Even if we're having a historically bad season, we'll find a way to make it into a joke or something. So big thank you to Abel and PT Harbin and Balak guy was in the chat too. Yeah, I had to go make sure he was in here. And Balak guy in the chat. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. If you liked what you heard and you have not liked and subscribed, please do so. You wouldn't even imagine how much that helps a young YouTube channel like ours. So
seriously,
it's free. And if you don't like us, just don't click our videos in the future and they'll stop showing them to you. But don't unsubscribe. Don't unsubscribe. YouTube pro tip there. So we'll be back on Wednesday, which is the 17th of September, and we're going to do our preview of the Dolphins-Bills show. That should be a fun one.
Yep.
Yeah. This is my notes for that game here.
Let's go to church. Let's go to church on Wednesday.
Let's just finish the episode right here. 0-3. Incoming, and maybe a new coaching staff. We'll see. Abel, thank you very much. So this was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. On behalf of Josh, a.k.a. Aqua Ace, to my left, which is that way because it's reverse cameras, I'm Anthony Pinzone. This has been another episode of the 305 Gridiron. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and fins up.